power. Can you make me seem aggressive? Obviously, from past the accident, you know, all those things that happened to me, it still gets to me. Along the way, like, the anger kind of becomes into something positive, because it helps me push the bar, break the bar, as we say. The aim is showing that people with disabilities are kind of the same as people with able bodies. We can compete, we can, you know, do sports. We're all the same, but in our own unique ways, you know. Any sport, it can be your sport if you put your mind to it. You fight hard enough for it, it's yours.
Representing the Philippines, representing Egypt, representing Kenya, representing Colombia, Cristina. Technical controller, Natalia. Junior number 1 from Greece, Vanessa. Junior number 2 from Tampa, Mariah Kushima. Junior number 3 from Algeria, Kushima.
Yes, I will think.
Spotter loaders, please load the bar to rack height 12. Rack height the bar. Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to day 2 of the 2022 Africa Open Championships right here in Cairo, Egypt. For her first attempt representing Algeria, Sabrina Moussaoui.
The bar is now open.
For their first attempt representing Syria, Noor Batur. The bar is now loaded for her first attempt, representing Egypt. Inas El Bali Abdel.
Well, what a moment for her. So here she comes. 107, aiming for a new next-gen world record for Nigeria. Can she do it? Aiming to break her own next-gen world record. That was 101, set a couple of years ago for 107. She has done it. She's added 6 kilos to the mark, 107 kilos, and that is only 4 off the world record of Gao Ling Ling, broken at the Asia Oceania Championships in Pyeongtaek back in June. And that is just for starters from Esther Nwogu. Magnificent for her. The World Championship bronze medalist from Tbilisi last year from Nigeria, and her team. Temitope Oke on stage with her, and her coach backstage, Patience Ibiti. That was marvellous. So anyway, welcome to day 2 in Cairo at the Dr. Hassan Mustafa Sports Hall in the 6th of October city in Cairo. Day 2 of these World Powerlifting African Open Championships. We've got 6 titles to be decided today, the women's 41 and the 45 following in an hour. We understand some of you might not have been able to hear us for the first 20 minutes or so, which, well, it's a bonus for everybody, but still, we can introduce everybody all over again. So round 2, this is Sabrina Moussaoui of Algeria, who cleared 60 in the opening round, and this now is 63. The African Championship bronze medalist in Algiers 4 years ago, that 60 in the opening round was a lifetime best, going for 63 to do it all over again here. She made a major championship debut at the age of 22, and that in Algiers, the only championship that she has been in. North Africa, very significant in World Powerlifting. Can she add to it for another lifetime best? Let's see, she's made it. Good lift, good lift. Well, possibly on the down lift, there were a couple of issues, but she didn't have to worry about that. She got it, she cleared it, she's there, and she has succeeded. Glorious. Well, she's a lot to be very happy about. That's 2 lifetime bests today of 60 and 63. Our leader, after the opening round, on 107 kilos, Esther Nwogu of Nigeria, Helen Kariuki of Kenya, and Christina Pablador of Colombia in second place on 93. And bronze in the African Championship on 77, Anas Al-Gabali Abdallah. Next up for the Philippines, Meridol Pamati Ann, who cleared 65 in the opening round and is going for 70 now. So at the start of August, she claimed bronze in the ASEAN Para Games, the Southeast Para Games, doing that for the second time. She had previously won bronze in 2015. 5th in her 2 Asian Para Games, 2018 and 2014. So going here for 70. And that is also a good lift. 2-1 for Pamatian Meridol. And that moves her up a little bit. She's now 5th in terms of the open competition. But that still leaves her 23 off the medals. But looking for a high finish, something that will help her in the road to Paris and the Paralympic Games in 2024.
Bar is now loaded. For her second attempt, representing Syria, Noura Badour.
I don't want to tempt fate, but we've had 9 lifts so far in this competition. They've all been good. So Noura Badour is up next, the Asian Games silver medalist in 2010. Subsequently, 2014, 2018, she's won bronze. West Asian Games champion from 2017. Arab Championship bronze in 2007. And in her most recent World Championships in 2019, she won the bronze medal in that. She was in the start list for 2021, but we didn't see her in Tbilisi. 5th in 2014 prior to that in Dubai. 4th in Rio in her best Paralympic Games performance. 8th in Tokyo last year. Riyadh Akasa is on stage with her. She's from the Tezren Club based in Damascus. Not a very long road from there to here, but quite a significant one. So that for 75, that would be very impressive if she can pull it off. It's no lift though, and it's the stop sequence from all 3 referees. Well, I said I shouldn't have tempted fate and I should have kept the mouth shut. Sorry about that. Noura, that's all on me. But it was the stop sequence that did for her from all of our officials. Chief referee Assam Al-Zubi of Jordan, the left referee Tiritin Yavakshvili from Georgia. This wasn't quite able to get that spot on. Right, next up for Egypt, Enes El Gabali Abdelalagag in her first major championship. Well, 77 in the opening round, a new lifetime best. This for 83, and because there are 3 above her, but 1 is Christina Poblador. She is in the bronze medal position right now in the African Championship. So 83 for Enes El Gabali. Here she comes. There's a tremendous amount of effort going into that from her. And that is a good lift. That is 3 white lights for Enes El Gabali. She's in the bronze medal position by 20 kilos. In the African Championship. And in terms of the Open Championship, another medal, another piece of hardware. Well, she's 10 kilos away from that. Plus, she now leads the total lift, both the African Championship and the Open as well. She's doing really well.
The bar is now loaded. For their first attempt, representing Kenya, Helen Wawina Kariuki.
So Wagyu are top on 107. Poblador and Kariuki tied on 93. Obviously the first 2 continental championships of this year, which if you didn't catch them, the Asia Oceania Championships and the Americas Championships in Pyeongtaek and St. Louis respectively. If you finish level, the rule change introduced for this year, you could decide to have a head-to-head shootout, a lift off, or to share the medal. in every single case, everybody went for the latter. So those rules changed again this year for the European Championships. Now if you finish level, because previously, forever and a day, prior to this year, it was whoever had the lightest body weight would take it on the head-to-head. Well, that rule is gone. Now if you finish level with an equal lift, it is a mandatory additional shootout lift. So now everybody's avoiding each other again. Helen Kariuki going for 95. The Commonwealth Games bronze medalist in Birmingham this year, her first major championship medal, having finished 4th in Gold Coast 4 years ago, 4th in the World Championships in 2017 in Mexico City, 5th in the Paralympic Games in Tokyo. Dennis Wahore is her coach these days. 25 seconds to go, 95 kilos. Kariuki is ready. She's willing. Was she able? No is the answer. All on the press, all three going against it. And on this time she was not. But she's one of the best around. Two attempts to go in this round. Two significant attempts. Kariuki has had hers, but has missed on 95.
The bar is now loaded. For her second attempt, representing Colombia, Cristina Poblador.
So now, the former America's champion until a couple of months ago in St. Louis, where she won the silver medal this time, but it was gold. Home sweet home in Bogota in 2018. Colombian champion since 2018. She is a Bogota girl. Cristina Poblador. She's got 93, now going for 97. This would be outright second place. And a new coach from Brazil, Jefferson, who's taken over as the Colombian national coach this year. So, big moment, 97, this to go second outright in the open competition for Cristina Poblador. Oh no, she's missed out. It's the press sequence from all three. Stop sequence as well, actually. No success this time for Cristina Poblador. That would have been knocking around a lifetime best for her. Just couldn't execute it this time. Well, this is going to be something big. So, for a new world record. She's already broken the next gen world record in the first round. This for the world record. Esther Nwogu going for 112. The world record set in Pyeongtaek at the Asia Oceania Championships by Guo Ling Ling. 111. That was in June. Well, she's going for it. Esther Nwogu, the 19-year-old, the World Championship bronze medalist who won on the World Cup circuit in Lagos 2019, Abuja 2020, burst onto the world stage last year, knocked Kariuki down to second place in Abuja. So on stage with her, Temitope Oke, and her coach nowadays, Patience Igbiti, who's watching on backstage and living and breathing every moment of this. 112 for a new world record. This for everything. African record, world record, all the next gen records. She's still a teen. Here she comes. 112 for the world record. And she's got it raised, and it is a new world record. 112 for Esther Nwogu. Nwogu, unbelievable. 112. The two best next gen lifts we've ever had. The old junior mark, gone. Her African records, gone. The world record, gone. Esther Nwogu has got them all. What a moment. We have our first elite, ultimate, the world record of the week. Esther Nwogu has it. And she still has one round to go. And if she wants, a power lift as well. Absolutely fantastic. That was for 112.
The bar is now loaded.
We go into the final round.
For her third attempt representing Algeria, Sabrina Moussaoui.
Nwogu leads on 112. Poblador and Kariuki are both on 93. That's in the open competition. Kariuki, silver in the African Championship. And then bronze in the African Championship is Enas El Gabali Abdelal Agag with 83. So Sabrina Moussaoui, 60 and 63 cleared so far. This was 67. This would put her into the silver medal position in terms of the total lift, which is the new additional set of medals that have been introduced this year. The total lift will not be in place for the Paralympic Games in Paris, but in all other championships. So Sabrina, for her third lifetime best this morning, and she has made it so. Sabrina Moussaoui of Algeria up to 67. Every single lift secured. Well, bronze in the African Championships last time. And Sabrina now fourth in the African Championships this time. And she will stay there.
Bar is now loaded. For her third attempt representing Philippines, Meridal Pamatian.
So, Meridal Pamatian of Philippines coming next, having cleared 65 and 70. This was 73. She will stay fifth in the open competition. But in terms of the total lift, she would go into second place in the open total lift behind Esther Nwogu. And above, Sabrina Moussaoui. But Moussaoui will stay second in the African total lift, these being the African Championships. And it's why we're here. So Meridal Pamatyan. I'm also taking this to be her first major championships outside of Asia. She's been in the Asian Para Games twice and the ASEAN, the Southeast Asian Para Games, twice. Ooh, this is a struggle. Well, she got it raised to 73. I wonder how much she'll be penalised for the press. Yep, all the way. They've all voted her down and, well, press interrupted. But she knows she can raise it up there in competition. It's just a matter of just being smooth with it.
Spotter loaders, please hold the bar to rack height 775 kilograms.
Unsuccessful this time. She finishes on 70, but she has had a very good competition. And that has her 5th for now in the Open Championship. And she's potentially only going to be overtaken by one person, and here she is, Noura Bador of Syria. Riyad Al-Qassem on stage with her. World Championship bronze in Nur Sultan. That was the greatest result of her career, certainly on a global basis. In terms of the continent, 3 times an Asian Para Games medalist, and obviously the West Asian Games gold in 2017 and the Arab Championship bronze in 07 as mentioned earlier. So she's had some good successes. She's from the Teshren Club. So this was 75. And this would send her up into 4th place in the Open competition. It's certainly 5th at least. 5th in the Open competition. And it will have been a worthwhile journey. I think it's been worthwhile anyway.
1 minute remaining.
So 75 for Noura Bador. So here she comes. And Noura Bador has her lift of 75, and it is a good lift. Fifth place for Noura Bador. It's been a worthwhile morning. Or mid-afternoon as it is now. She's really good competitor. She's got nice technique. But the woman who finished 3rd in the World Championships 3 years ago has herself a 5th placing in this. New talent keeps barging through. And here's the latest. The major championship debut of Enes El Gabali Abdalal Agag. Well, she's lifted 77 and 83 so far. If she gets this, she goes in front in the total lift. And the only thing which would prevent her from winning the total lift, if she gets this, would be another world record in this round from Esther Wargu. She's not yet guaranteed a spot on the podium. She is 3rd in terms of the overall total lift. She still needs to get this to be guaranteed it. And at the very worst then, it would be 2nd place. Has to get this first. 93 for a new lifetime best. You have to love the ambition. She's had a couple of lifetime bests already. She's put an immense amount into that. She's got nothing more to give. And she just couldn't give the little bit more to complete the lift. Well, I have to say, adding 10 onto the bar on top of what was a lifetime best in the previous round, takes a lot of gumption, and she had that. She didn't have the lift, but it is 83. Obviously, she was aiming to match Pablador and Karaoke in terms of the open competition, get up to silver. But for Enes El-Gabali Abdelal, she takes the African Championship bronze.
Bar is now loaded. For her third attempt representing Colombia, Cristina Granados.
So now we've two athletes tied on 93 in the silver medal position in the open competition. Cristina Pablador is one of those, Helen Karaoke the other, and Cristina with a chance to try and break clear. This is 97 for a new lifetime best. She broke her lifetime best in the first round. At 93, she had 92 going into the America's Championship in St. Louis in July. 91 there to win the silver. Helen Karaoke beat her in the open competition in that, as Lara de Lima of Brazil took the gold with 93. With 98, should I say. Her first round lift was 93. So even if Cristina had done this in the last round in St. Louis, still would have been silver in the America's Championship in the open bronze there. Well, she certainly has a medal here. Jefferson, the national team coach, the new national team coach from Brazil, also a qualified referee, and who took charge in time for the America's Championship. And kudos to the previous coaches as well, who were serving for quite a while. And kudos to Cristina if she gets this, because she'll have deserved it. Oh, 2 and against. It was the stop and the press sequence from the two referees who voted it down. Oh, so close. So she stays at 93. She gave it a very good try, but at least she has set a new lifetime best today. I thought she was very close to this. Ah, yeah, just there. You see the little waver to her right, towards us, our camera angle there. So now, Pablador is on 93 and Helen Karaoke is on 93. If she gets this, she gets the open silver outright. She already has the African silver. That is in the bag. So it's a big one for Karaoke. At the moment, it is joint silver alongside Pablador. But it's not that easy to have a joint silver compared to the first two continental championships, the regional championships of this year. The Tamberi Bashim sharing can now only come after a shootout. And that will be avoided if Helen Karaoke lifts this. So Helen Karaoke going for 97. This would tie her with Moussaoui, by the way, in terms of the total lift in 190. So there's a tie if she gets this and a tie if she doesn't. Ooh, tentative. Still got time. No.
Time expiration.
Yeah, she ran out of time. That's extraordinary.
No lift.
And it's no lift for her, so she is tied at 93 with Christina Poblador. Well, that's an oddity. You don't get that very often.
Spotter loaders, please load the bar.
So, she and Christina Poblador are tied on 93 kilos. Moussaoui wins silver in the total lift. Bronze to Enes Abdelal of Egypt. That is in the total lift, the combined sum. Well, that's really odd for Helen Kariuki. I didn't, honestly, she didn't realize the time was running out. Well, the clock ran down on her. Now, there are circumstances where the clock is in a very prominent position in the venue. This is not necessarily one of those times.
Spotter loaders, please load the bar to rack height 13, 114 kilograms.
But Kariuki does get the African silver anyway. The African gold has been won by Esther Nwogu. She's broken the world record. It has to be a gold. Going for her second world record of the day. Her third next-gen world record of the day. She has broken her own next-gen African record, her own next-gen world record. She's broken Jonah Ben's African record and Guo Ling Ling's world record. This will be another world record for 114. Ignore the red there, that's a technical error. That's not her fault. Esther Nwogu 114. She's also won the total lift. So with her first attempt of 107, and we made so much of her breaking the next-gen world record with that. Of course, it also broke Jonah Ben's African record, the African record. But that wasn't the only thing in her sights. Well, she's made herself a massive candidate for next year's World Championships in Dubai and for Paris 2024. We will all want to be sitting down in front of our TVs watching that. Opening ceremony for the Paralympic Games in Paris will be in the Place de Concorde for the first time outside the stadium in a major city centre location. Esther Nwogu, 114 for another new world record. How good did that look? She has it! She has it again! 2 world records in the day. Every single lift has been an African record. Every single lift a next-gen world record. Is there a more powerful 19-year-old in the world right now than her? Esther Nwogu. She smashed all the records. She owns them all. 114. Absolutely magnificent. 2-1 in her favour. African record, next-gen world record, next-gen African record. We now have head-to-head lifts, the shootout between Kariuki and Poblador for the first time ever in major international championship competition. because they finished level on 93. So, under the long time rules, it would have been Pablador taking the silver in terms of the open competition, lighter body weight by 700 grams. Those rules changed at the start of the year. Then what would have happened in the first two continental championships this year, they would have shared it. Everybody else did. So now this is round 4. This is the head-to-head lift, the shootout. Karaoke and Pablador together on 93 kilos. So, if they both get this, if they both miss this, then they share the silver medal. But if one is successful and the other is not, then they're divided. So we go back to 93. They both had misses in the last round of 97. We go back to the mark where they were both successful, where the tie is, and that's 93 kilos. Christina Pablador goes first. But this is not going to be like a penalty shootout where we go into indeterminable sudden death. We're not going to go into a 22nd round or anything like that. We have this head-to-head round and that's it. Pablador 93. A reminder, the African Championship, Nwogu gold, Karaoke silver, Abdallah Agag the bronze. In terms of the total lift, Nwogu gold, Masawi silver, Abdallah the bronze. So 93 for Pablador. This to go in front in this head-to-head shootout, and it is a good lift. So Pablador successful. All 3 white lights. She takes the lead in the shootout, and as you will probably have worked out yourself, but worth pointing out just in case, this does not go towards the total lift. Both have actually, ironically, finished joint last in that. They only had 1 successful lift each. That was 93. So Pablador has got hers. Now it's Karaoke's turn. So if she gets it, this is a tie. If not, it is open bronze for her, but she already has the African Championship silver.
For her powerlifting tent, representing Kenya,
Helen Wawira Karaoke. On stage with it, David Wahore. Well, she's lifted 93 once. She has to do it again for an Open Championship silver. And with the rules over ties and head-to-heads modified again ahead of the European Championships last month, this is the first time we've had this shootout. Athletes have done their best to avoid each other when there's been a tie. So here she goes, 93. This for a share of the silver. And it's done. She's got it. Good lift. So both Karaoke and Pablador finish level. They've both been successful in their head-to-head lift, both on 93. Both successful first time around, both successful when they've had to do it again. So the Open Championship silver is shared between those two. And Karaoke has the African Championship silver as well. So that's the end of the competition. They don't need to go on to 94 or 95 or 96. It is a perfect tie. So Nwogu takes the gold. In terms of the African Championship, Helen Warriera the silver, Enes El Gabali of Egypt the bronze. For the open competition, Nwogu takes the gold. Poblador and Warriera sharing silvers. Total lift, Nwogu wins it. Silver to Sabrina Musawi. And bronze, Enes El Gabali Abdalal on 160. So quite a few medals for Enes today. And not only that, but of course there's an open competition element to that as well. So she will pick up in her major championship debut 3 medals, 3 bronzes. It has been a fruitful time for the 29-year-old representing the host nation of Egypt. That was a very good event. The total lift medals, by the way, they will be in a separate victory ceremony on a different stage in the stadium and not on this live service. The victory ceremony is on the way.
the victory ceremony for the women's 41-kilogram category, Group A.
So here we go. There's a lot to come through in this. It is the women's 41 kilo ceremony. And for those of you waiting for the women's 45 kilo final, due to get underway very soon. Well, it will get underway very soon. Now we're going to have 4 medals presented here because we've had a tie in terms of the silver medal. Hey, careful, Esther. Our new world record holder will be getting all the golds here. A lot of joy also for Enas El Gabali Abdelal Agag. Just to tell you that the medal's being presented by Mr. Emad Ramadan of the Egyptian Paralympic Treasury. So, African bronze for Enas El Gabali Abdelal, clearing 83, and she also wins bronze in the African and the open total lifts. Major championship debut. Look at her, beaming. Every right in the world too. Helen Karaoke wins silver in the African Championship and silver in the Open Championship in a tie with the lady who's positioned right alongside her. Helen Karaoke lifting 93 twice. The second time was in the head-to-head. And for the first time, a head-to-head tie under the new rules. Cristina Pablador of Colombia lifting 93 twice to claim the other open silver medal. That was an exciting moment, I have to say. They both knew they were going to get a medal. For Nigeria, Esther Nwogu is the African champion. She's the new African record holder, breaking the old mark of her teammate Jonah Ben, the new world record holder, breaking the mark set in June by Go Ling Ling of 111. Esther Nwogu goes up to 114. Next gen world record as well, next gen African record, but she takes all the medals, all the golds, all the records today. Esther Nwogu, new horizons for Nigeria. Glorious, what a success for Esther Nwogu, who now becomes a prime candidate for the next 3 years of major global championships. World Championships next year in Dubai. Then we've got Paris 2024, the Paralympic Games, and then the World Championships in 2025 in a yet to be determined location. Hey, this is a nice place. Well done to the 4 of you. Tremendous gold medal success for Esther Nwogu. The tie for the open competition silvers for Cristina Pablador and Helen Warira Karaoke, with Karaoke also taking the African silver and the African bronze going to Abdelal Agag on 83. What a competition that was. That was a lot of fun, and Egypt continued to mop up the medals here in Cairo for the 2022 African Open Championships.
welcome our athletes for the regional women's 41 kilogram category.
So everybody's back again for the African Championship ceremony, and that means more medals for everyone else.
The medals will be presented by Ahmed Ramadan, treasurer of Egyptian Paralympic Committee.
So again, Mr. Ahmed Ramadan of the Egyptian Paralympic Committee awarding the medals, and Egypt, well, what a success with the African bronze to go with the open bronze for Enes El Gabali Abdelal Agag. And don't forget, she's taken a whole lot of medals as well in the total lift. Helen Kariuki outright silver in this, 93 kilos. Her first lift claimed her that African silver medal, and then the second lift of 93 secured her a share of the silver in the open competition.
And your next gen record holder, and your world record holder.
So let's lavish more praise on Esther Nwogu. 114, the new world record. And being 19, a new next-gen world record as well. Came into this as the next-gen world record holder on 101. Her first lift, breaking that, setting a new outright African record, overtaking Jonah Ben, which was only set last year at the Dubai World Cup, and she went on to break the world record twice more. Esther, you're a marvel. Gold for Nigeria, all the way to 114. A glorious victory for Nigeria and for Esther Nwogu, and a name that may well dominate in this division and those close by for very many years to come. There's a massive career that has taken the next step today in the most glorious fashion. Your new world record holder, Esther Nwogu, Africa gold for her, Helen Kariuki the silver for Kenya, and Enes El Gabali Abdelal the bronze for Egypt.